Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here, and welcome back to System Shock Radio. This is going up a little bit late in the week, which I do apologize for, but without further ado, let's get right into it. Um, First things first, first I should say, if you missed last week's episode where we talked about the state of AEW, go check that out if you haven't already. So let's get right into it. This first topic that we're going to talk about is something that may or may not be a surprise to any of you who've been following what's been happening with CM Punk in AEW, but CM Punk is very likely on his way out of AEW. Now, I'll admit I'm a little bit tardy to the party when it comes to this. Apparently, rumors started circulating as far back as last week, I remember, or even possibly before that, about CM Punk likely being done in AEW, saying his contract may be bought out so that he might not be in AEW anymore. Which, I mean, even if the news didn't break that he could be on his way out, people kind of saw this coming. Like, between his problems backstage that he's been having with the other AEW talents, combined with what happened at the social media scrum, the writing was kind of on the wall here, and it's pretty sad to see, honestly, but I can't say I'm surprised that it's happened this way. Uh, and what sucks is that CM Punk's return is something that so many people wanted for a long time. I'll admit, myself included, I was interested to see whether or not CM Punk would return to the world of sports entertainment. And it was so much hype for so many years about, oh, when's CM Punk coming back? Is he ever gonna come back or anything like that? It was such a topic of excitement for a lot of people, and then to see it happen was incredible. A lot of people said it was what got them back into wrestling. To go from that to pretty much over a year later, this essential like fall from grace, and man, what a fall it was to see it happen in real time. Not gonna lie, it was pretty sad to see he went from a lot of people being excited for his return and everything to not just the injury, but then the backstage problems he had with guys like Hangman Page, and then what happened at the social media scrum, and then the fight that happened between him and the Elite and Ace Steel, which Ace Steel is reportedly no longer with AEW. Seeing all that unfold is it's pretty sad, not gonna lie, and um, it's pretty heartbreaking to see like how much people were excited to see CM Punk back in WWE, and now not WWE and in AEW, or even just sports entertainment in general, and then now he's pretty much like a laughing stock, and a lot of people have kind of turned on him, and not for no reason. The stuff he did with like the fights and stuff, that's pretty bad, and it's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and it's given a really bad look for AEW. Um, it could be an instance of CM Punk being viewed as a liability at this point, which is unfortunate because I'm sure Tony Khan wanted CM Punk to get in AEW, who to say that, hey, I was the guy who took a guy that so many people were excited to see and brought him into my wrestling company. He's a part of my wrestling company, and then to see this happen. There's also reports though that CM Punk may have a position of authority in AEW, which if he got this position of authority, if he does have it, if it's more than just a rumor, if it happened before All Out, then yeah, now a lot of this punishment for him, including him potentially being on his way out, makes a lot more sense. But if it came after the social media scrum, then and the fight that broke out afterwards, then wow. But yeah, but something of interest that I want to talk about is him potentially going back to WWE. Apparently, Triple H is interested in bringing back CM Punk into WWE, which I'm not gonna lie is pretty surprising for a couple reasons. For starters, CM Punk and Triple H have had their issues as well. CM Punk, as far as I can tell, and correct me if I'm wrong, is one of the few people that didn't like Triple H as like an authority figure, as like Triple H being a position of power. Of course, the COO of the company now. Triple H had a creative and everything, and CM Punk was one of the few people. Well, and I'm sure there were probably a couple more that had issues with Triple H, but also, it's interesting because there is still a lot of heat on CM Punk. What happened in social media scrum, that was only like a month ago, and it's still fresh in a lot of people's minds. So, bringing CM Punk in the midst of all this like huge controversy, is this the wisest decision? Probably not. But we'll see if it actually unfolds. And there were even other higher ups in WWE who speculated that, hey, maybe bringing CM Punk in right now is a bad idea. Now, I'm not saying don't bring CM Punk back in. Not gonna lie, more so out of morbid curiosity. I do want to see CM Punk back in WWE in some capacity, even if it's like a Hall of Fame induction, because CM Punk would definitely be Hall of Fame worthy, but not right now with all this heat on him and everything. I'd say probably wait until a lot of the heat dies down before bringing CM Punk into the fold. Well, but nevertheless, moving on to the next topic, we are going to talk about games that I personally want sequels for, and there's a lot, and there's quite a few, and these are some games that a lot of other people want sequels for. Some of these prayers for sequels have been answered. We are getting, for example, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which is very, very nice. In terms of like sequels I really, really want to see, there's of course Spyro 4, which I've been talking about out ad nauseum for a while now, how much I want to see that, and mostly because I love Spyro the Dragon, and I want to see them go in a new direction like they did for Crash, which I want another sequel for Crash. Keep it going. Crash 4 was really, really good. Keep it going from there. Super Mario Odyssey 2, I'd love to see a sequel for. Normally, it's very rare, I feel like, for a lot of Mario games to get like sequels. More so like different types of Mario games. But Mario has had sequels before. He's had multiple Super Mario Galaxies, the Paper Mario stuff, and the Super Mario 3D games. First there was 3D Land and 3D World. So perhaps we'll get a sequel for Super Mario Odyssey. But I would love to see that, and I would love to see how that plays out as well. Oh, and I want to see a sequel to Sonic Mania because that was really, really good stuff, and pretty much just like another old school, old pixelated 2D Sonic game. I think a lot of people would be happy to see. I even want to see a sequel to Sonic Generations. I feel like Sonic Generations in execution was kind of it was good for the most part. They did mess up on some stuff, but the concept of like celebrating everything that made classic Sonic so fantastic, I feel like it's a really good concept, and I want to see them roll with it from there and continue on. There's Sly Cooper, or mainly because I want a new Sly Cooper game, and although they might reboot that. I want to see another Jak and Daxter, although they might reboot that as well. Let me know in the comments below, what games do you guys want to see sequels for. The next thing I want to talk about, because it is October, because it is Halloween season, and mostly because I haven't done too much Halloweening. Some stuff has been going on in my life, but because I haven't done too much Halloweening, I figured I might as well slip it into here on System Shock Radio, and talk about some of my favorite Halloween candies, like some of the candies I used to love getting on Halloween. So I would go trick or treating, but I think I stopped around like 7 or 8, mostly when we moved into the new neighborhood, and but even still, like, I would sometimes get candy because what they would do sometimes in my school is like trunk or treating, or I would go to like Halloween parties and stuff. I feel like this is kind of just like my favorite candies, mostly because a lot of the Halloween candies you get are like bite size, these versions of candies you already tried a bunch of times, but I figure I still talk about them. So Some of my favorites include like the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls. Those like the cherries and the lemon and the lime. And that was pretty good stuff. And even the vanilla ones were pretty cool. Uh, there's the Reese's, which is a classic in terms of like Halloween candy. There's the little packets of Sour Patch Kids. That stuff was always fun. There's like the Jolly Rancher stick thingies, where it's not like a traditional Jolly Rancher, like I'm about to show you right here, where it's all like cylinder shaped. It's more like a Jolly Rancher stick, and that stuff I think is pretty cool. The Twizzlers, which I don't care what anybody says, Twizzlers are amazing. But the little things of Twizzlers that usually have like two in them and were usually pretty good. There's Kit Kats, that's which I really like. There's Dum Dum Pops, which are pretty cool, and sometimes I even get Blow Pops, which I love Blow Pops. Yeah, so Halloween candy usually really good, and those are some of my personal favorites. Which, like I said, a little bit hit tricky because they're essentially bite-sized versions of candies that you eat anyway. It's the principle that counts, you know. But the next thing I want to talk about is the Wyatt Six. So, Bray Wyatt, for those of you who don't know, is back in WWE. And it seems like he maybe had a new stable known as the Wyatt Six. And a lot of people have been hard at work trying to figure out who the Wyatt Six are supposed to be. Now, reportedly, WWE hasn't like finalized who exactly is going to be the Wyatt Six or who's going to play the characters. So essentially, how this is working is the Firefly Funhouse characters have come to life for the most part. So the Wyatt Six is Mercy the Buzzard, Abby the Witch, Ramblin' Rabbit, Husky Harris, is the Fiend, and Bray Wyatt himself. Oh, and they've been trying to piece together different characters to play these characters within the Wyatt Six. For Mercy the Buzzard, some people have pointed to Dexter Loomis, which I think would be pretty cool, or some people even said like Joe Gacy down in NXT, which I think would be pretty interesting. They kind of have like dark elements to their characters. For for Abby the Witch, some people have pointed to either Alexa Bliss or Liv Morgan, and both have kind of alluded to potentially being involved with the Wyatt Six, so that could be the role they fulfill. Rambling Rabbit, it's I'm not sure, but I think some people said they wanted to see Karrion Kross as Rambling Rabbit or as Mercy the Buzzard, but whoever Rambling Rabbit is would probably have to be very good on the mic because, you know, Ramble, he talks a lot. Um, who else? Huskus the Pig Boy. Some people have said it may be Bo Dallas, which people said may be on his way back. The Fiend, which some people also said maybe Bo Dallas. It'll be cool to see. And of course, there's Bray Wyatt himself. So, seeing how these characters interact with Bray Wyatt himself and a new persona that Bray Wyatt's unveiled, aka Uncle Howdy, um, it's going to be interesting to see how this is pulled off. And the thing about Bray Wyatt, which is why I love him so much, is he's so creative. It's so creative to the fact that he's essentially in a feud right now with himself, and it's being pulled off brilliantly. Bray Wyatt is so creative. Honestly, probably he considered by many to be one of the most creative minds in the business, and he's showing us exactly why here. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about is a bit of a quote, and I want to talk about what it means. It's not the destination, it's the journey. Now, that's probably something you've heard a lot of times, and when I was younger, I didn't quite know what it meant. I kind of had a feeling what it meant, but I wasn't quite sure. But as I got older, I kind of realized what this meant. And in life, you're gonna do a lot of stuff, and you may have an end goal for your life. Hey, I want to have a whole lot of money. I want to live comfortably. I want to be married, have a family, and everything. But all that stuff is the destination. But the journey is who you meet along the way, what you do along the way. what you learn along the way. Take, for example, a story. A story of two characters coming together. Or, or they're traveling to a place. These two characters are brought about kind of by fate. They meet at like a crossroads and come together as characters. And they're going to the same destination, but along the way, we, the audience, learn more about the characters and resonate with them, and the characters resonate with each other. They learn to trust each other, and they befriend each other, or perhaps a little bit more, perhaps a little bit of romance brewing between the characters. And it can be two characters, it can be a group of characters. But what's important is not where they're going, but the journey to get there. And that's how you get stuff like Lord of the Rings, where it's pretty much like the textbook definition of this catchphrase of not the destination but the journey. Or I shouldn't say catchphrase, more like saying. But yeah, so they prove that it's not the destination, it's the journey. And it's the journey what matters. It's what you learn along the way that matters. So the destination is great, it's where you want to go, but don't forsake the journey to get there. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this episode of System Shock Radio. Thank you all so much for watching. If this is your first time watching, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you are returning, welcome back, and I also hope you enjoyed as well. If you did enjoy this video, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know every time I drop a video, so you can see it as soon as it drops. Share it with your friends, and I will see you guys later. Peace.